something for you, but keep it to yourself. I'm feeling curious, want to explore it, nothing too serious. Forget the world for a minute, before we know it, the future's the past. Seize the moment while we're in it, hold on to each other as long as it lasts. I don't care about forever, 'cause sometimes forever is over so fast. Hush, hush, baby, come in here with me. I want for you to go. No need to worry, there is no hurry to stay.
The 2K Sports pregame show.
It is so good to see you again here on NBA preseason on 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson, I'm your host. Kenny the Jet Smith, one of your analysts, and the legendary Shaquille O'Neal is the other. The fans are filling the seats in Orlando, the site of our broadcast, and where the Magic will be going up against the Miami Heat. For Miami, they're sitting at 1-1 so far in the preseason. Still a lot of minutes being spread around and different looks being tried at both ends of the court, as you'd expect. And tonight we'll be watching Nick Vucevic do his thing. Vuce, one of the better big men in the league at putting the ball on the floor and attacking the rim. Just how beneficial is that for a big man to have in their skill set, big man?
Well, first of all, anybody with a Vic in their last name is a heck of a player.
Why is that?
Stojakovic, Petrovic, and my favorite, Onilovic.
What about Maravich?
Oh, don't forget Maravich. Good job, Kenny. But this coach, he lets Vucevic play out on the high post more often, and he has a very quick first step. I love Vucevic.
Well, he creates a lot of mismatches because of the mid-range game that he has. For a big guy to get in that mid-range area, attacks the rim, he is tough to guard.
And that'll wrap it up as we take you courtside. That was awesome. Thanks for joining us.
You asked for it, we deliver, baby. More NBA preseason basketball for you right here on 2K Sports. Along with Greg Anthony, Brett Barry, and our sideline reporter David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. And it's back to Miami for the Heat at the conclusion of today's game. Right now, they're 1-1 in the preseason. Only a small number of games, though, to work out the kinks.
Kevin, that's what the preseason is for. I mean, it's about fine-tuning and getting ready for when the games really count. You want to take care of getting better so when the regular season does start, you are ready to perform.
And before the action gets going here, let's go to David Aldridge, who spoke with Eric Spoelstra. What's the news, David?
Well, guys, he told me that today is all about setting the tone for the rest of the season series with this team. He said they're going to be a tough opponent for us every time we see them. And we've got to let them know right now, today, that we're going to be just as tough for them. We'll find out, indeed, if they can set the right tone, Kevin.
Thank you, David. A marquee matchup tonight. Two great centers going head-to-head. Brent, talk about the attributes scouts are looking for out of modern-day centers.
I think one of the things that they look for first with regards to a big man, Kevin, is a guy who doesn't shy away from contact. I know the game is moving with a little more open pace and space, but still, your big guy's got to want to be physical because there are times in the game, whether he's touching it in the post or not, he's got to be a presence both offensively and defensively. That requires taking a few hits.
And with the ability to pass, and, you know, there are guys like Bogut, even at advanced age, can still, I think, make a difference in that position.
Yeah, but if you look at guys like Bogut and Steven Adams, they're still willing to sacrifice their body, not for the glory of having the ball, but everything they can do for getting the ball into open space for their guards. That means hitting a guy, setting hard screens. That physicality has got to be priority one.
So the opening lineup for the Heat, Waiters and Winslow are the wings. Whiteside is out there with Johnson, and it's Dragic in at the one. Johnson gets the bucket.
Now, some guys have a hard time finding their teammates in those possessions. Dragic is always looking to dish to get it to the open man.
Here's Payton, and the shot no good, a bit short. And it's Miami's ball coming off that loss against the Nets.
And you know what? They were giving away points, missing at the line, a big factor in the outcome.
I'm just wondering if this home crowd and the energy worked against them in this one. They might have gotten in their heads just a little bit.
And Evan Fournier out of France, an instinctive offensive player, Greg.
Yeah, favorite player growing up was Manu Ginobili, and you can see some similarities in their games. Fournier possesses long-range shooting, but also able to handle and put pressure on the D with the dribble.
So he picks up just one from the line that time. Waiters against Gordon. Goes up the baseline. Waiters no luck.
Now, offense sputtering just a bit here, 1 for 4 in the game.
And Fournier kicks to Gordon. Not wasting any time and taking the shot and knocking it down.
Almost perfect in the game to start, 3 of 4.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Johnson with it. And it's Gordon picking him up. And Aaron Gordon gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. And Gordon over to help. And it's out of bounds. The Heat able to retain possession here. Whiteside, a screen on Gordon. Out of bounds, Orlando takes possession.
Man, if you're going to grab it, grab that thing. He just lazily reaches out for that, and the result is it's deflected right off of his hand.
The Magic have gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. Here's Payton. Dragic with some nice D. Tipped away. Fournier against Waiters. Outside Dragic. Sinks the three-pointer. Dragic has got his first 3 points of the game.
Dragic always scattering around, but that time got his feet up underneath him and knocks down the long ranger.
And let's check out the numbers for Nikola Vucevic. Great showing for him last season. Last year averaged 14 points per game, 10 rebounds, and 2 assists. And when it all comes together for him, this is what he's capable of.
Yeah, this is what his coaches have been waiting for that light bulb to turn on, and right now it is burning bright. He looks fantastic.
Whiteside, and it hung on the rim but wouldn't fall for him. And Vucevic kicks to Payton, and it's in there. Payton's got his first bucket in this one.
And a nice job here early of establishing an inside presence.
Dragic with a wide open look. And again, Miami with the triple.
Really nice to see Dragic explore that aspect of his game. The catch-and-shoot J is simply deadly.
And just a step ahead of the D in that possession there, making the pass. Nice assist.
The Heat trail by 3. And it's Gordon penetrating, and he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. The Magic have shot 2 free throws, and they're 1 of 2 so far. The first free throw is good. And Aaron Gordon, the athletic Aaron Gordon, playing much of last season at the small forward position during Serge Ibaka's short-lived stint in Orlando.
Yeah, and while he was excited to stretch his skill set, pretty clear it was a bad fit, especially in today's NBA. Gordon is a power forward, period. The Magic invested the 4th pick on him in that 14 draft, and they have to give him minutes at his natural position as his game continues to evolve.
Now here's Waiters, hoping to put that miserable performance against Brooklyn behind him tonight. 6 to shoot. Puts it up from 15. Rebounded by Isaac.
Just wondering why the defense is laying off. Luckily, they didn't pay for their mistake.
The Magic again can't hit. The Heat trail by 4. Goes up on the wing. Second chance shot. That shot is off. The Magic go the other way with it. They're getting their first look, a preseason look at the Heat right here.
But remember, they won the season series against this club last year, so they are comfortable.
Now here's Waiters, following the miss by Aaron Gordon.
And Gordon over to help. Pass to Dragic. Right side a screen. Jumper off the screen. Miami no good on that time either.
And the defense is just not very aggressive. Definitely fortunate that the mid-range jumper did not find the bottom of the net that time.
Yeah, I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones. So it's Miami now, following the bucket by Orlando. And Nikola Vucevic is going to pick up the foul. That's his first foul.
And now only one away from being in the penalty.
The Magic making a switch here. Ross is checked in. A nice shot by Winslow.
All those hours in the offseason working on the catch-and-shoot jumper, it pays off there. When he shoots it with confidence, it looks good.
Here's Gordon. Looks good, is good. Bucket number 4 from the field. He's taken only 6 shots.
And that's what you want to see. Good, fundamental, sound basketball with the bounce pass. And that was the gamble to keep him on the floor with all those early fouls. And looks like they've lost the bet.
Miami shooting their first shots from the free throw line tonight.
Yeah, last season, around 71% of the free throws made. And you know what? That has to be a point of emphasis this year.
Biyombo is checked in for Orlando. Mario Hezonja comes in for Evan Fournier. And then for Miami, Kelly Olynyk's checked in for Whiteside. Okaro White comes in for James Johnson. And Josh Richardson subbed in for Dion Waiters. Now here's White. White a screen on Ross. Dragic the pass to White. Over Payton. Rebounded by Vucevic.
Oh, you just relish those kind of opportunities, and the defense got lucky, but they need to guard that area of the floor a little bit better.
Oh, this is the kind of start they were hoping for.
Dragic kicks to Winslow. Now here's Richardson. He's tightly guarded. And here we go with the Magic fast break. And finish off by Hezonja.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came upright with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
Terrific anticipation using the hands. How are you not protecting the basketball in that situation?
There's Winslow. The Magic getting the bucket. Miami no good on that time either. Biyombo kicks to Payton. There's the basket and make it a double-digit lead. Payton's got his second basket.
Fantastic ball movement. They're picking them apart with their passing.
And Greg, you hear about the competitive culture that this Miami Heat franchise has.
Yeah, and that doesn't always work for some teams, but it works for the Heat. This group will push each other all the time to be the best they can be. The practices have a feel of game-level intensity.
And Miami calls their first time out of the game.
And I like this timeout. You're getting terrible rim protection right now.
Well, you got to ask your team to give you a little bit more effort because there's just not a lot of fire on the defensive end.
Jonathan Simmons is checked in for Payton. Adebayo is checked in for Miami. Tyler Johnson comes in for Goran Dragic. And it's the Heat with the ball, trailing by 10. It's stolen by Vucevic. And finished off by Hezonja.
Methodical in their approach. They have absolutely owned this first quarter.
Yeah, you can credit the play calling. Nothing really fancy, just imposing their will on the inside.
Now here's Richardson. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Johnson.
And let's take a moment to look at some stats for Richardson. Last season's performance for him. Averaged 10 points per game, 2 assists, and 3 rebounds. You know, year one, he was learning the ropes. I think he's hoping to make a much bigger impact in his second campaign.
Absolutely. As a rookie, the game just goes incredibly fast. Sophomore year, things start to slow down.
And the replay is courtesy of Under Armour. Unleash chaos. It was a great sequence from the steal all the way to the finish at the other end. Biyombo, no luck. The Heat trail by 10. There's 1:47 left in the first quarter. Kicks to Olynyk. Right side, White. And the pass to Richardson. Shot clock at 5. Out to the right wing. Here's White. Rebound by the Magic. They want to keep it rolling here following the win against Dallas.
And you know what? Up against a weak defense, they were allowed to do pretty much whatever they wanted.
Yeah, what I like, though, besides that, is that they just didn't settle for it, because weak defenses, you could take bad shots. That's not what they did here tonight.
Magic leading by 8. Here's Vucevic, and Vucevic throws it down.
Aggressive coming out of the gate here, guys. Wow.
And already the lead is significant. Excellent play on both ends.
Now here's Johnson. He had a 21-point outing in their last game against Brooklyn. And White kicks to Richardson. White a screen. Shoots off the screen, and it's Miami with another.
D's got to pay better attention to Richardson, one of the better shooters on the roster. This time he gets it done from the mid-range.
And Vucevic with the basket on the assist from Ross. 8 points for Vucevic.
Just impressed with the teamwork out there, setting the table for one another.
Johnson kicks to Richardson. They double him with Vucevic. White left side. Back to Richardson. 6 on the shot clock. And the Heat, another 3.
The evolution of Josh Richardson is going to be very exciting for this organization. When he's sinking the catch-and-shoot jump shots, look out. I give the defense a C+ on that possession, but still, I'm sure he's upset he missed.
Got a piece of it. Ross with the steal. Dishes it to Biyombo. That's going to be over and back. Not watching for the line that time. Here's Johnson. And out of bounds as the Magic will gain possession.
Yeah, that's just not a good pass. I don't know what he's thinking there. A poor decision.
Here's Azania. And oh, he hits the buzzer beater.
And money to end the quarter there with the triple.
It felt like he felt like time was winding down, saw the opening, nailed the shot.
And so it's the Orlando Magic with a 10-point lead, some breathing room heading into the break. They've dictated the pace, pushed the ball at every chance, and it's paying off for them. And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way after this break. Thanks for being with us as we get going here once again. A preview of the upcoming NBA season ahead. And from what we've seen from Orlando, what do you guys see?
Aggressive defense in that first period. They forced several miscues.
You just start to wonder, how did we get to this score at the end of one? I think those steals really established momentum in their favor.
So it's Miami now. It's a 10-point game. Following this one, they get to host the Hornets. That'll be the first of 2 straight at home. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. On the court for Orlando, Terrence Ross is out there with Isaac. And there's Bismack Biyombo. Then it's Simmons. And it's Hazonia in at the 2 spot.
Tyler Johnson and his path to the NBA are quite unique. Undrafted out of college, where he played at Fresno State, comes up through the D-League, now the G-League, and plays a critical role for this Miami Heat basketball team as a force off the bench.
Up it goes, and the Magic lead is cut to just 9 on the basket from Ellington.
I just really like how Tyler distributes the basketball, skilled at quickly getting the ball over to the open man.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash mouth physical basketball, guys.
Now here's White, and stolen by Biyombo. And here's the fast break. Ross leading the way. Here's Simmons, banked in off the glass. Simmons got his first bucket of the night.
This is where you got to put a body on the guy. His will is incredible down on the interior, fighting and clawing for every rebound.
Rob. Fast break. Here come the Magic. Ross leading the charge.
I love watching Isaac find the open teammate. Has great floor awareness out there and just knows when one of his guys has a clean look.
The Heat trail by 15. There's the feed to Ellington. That's tipped. Ross with the steal. Pass to Isaac. No good that time. And the Heat going the other way now. For Tyler Johnson, the journey was a quick one. In the span of about 2 years, he goes from the D-League where he played to signing a $50 million contract.
Well, I also think about, Kevin, the fact that he played in just 68 games before last season. So a ton of belief from the organization that Tyler Johnson can be that guy, capable of coming off the bench, scoring baskets, and coming right down the throat of the defense to get to the rim.
And the Heat call time here.
Yeah, you can't make any excuses right now for them giving the ball up as much as they have in this one. Hopefully they can get on the same page during this timeout.
Johnson, he's checked in for Miami.
All right, a chance to check out stats for Hassan Whiteside. Great showing for him last season. He averaged about 17 points a game last year, 14 rebounds and just over 2 blocks. And impressive numbers, no doubt. It's the kind of run we've come to expect from him.
Synergy, all elements right now working together, and the game is coming so easy right now.
Johnson kicks to Ellington. No good from outside. Magic leading by 15. Fades away. And it's Gordon missing.
Well, I like the shot selection. I don't like the shot result. Won't happen much.
Got that one up quick.
And he's so good on the drive. You have to try to cut him off defensively, but then Waiters can stop on a dime and nail that pull-up.
And it's Gordon missing.
Oh, you just relish those kind of opportunities. And the defense got lucky, but they need to guard that area of the floor a little bit better.
Ray, you played all 4 years in college after redshirting your freshman season. What kind of advantage, as you look back on that, do you think it gave you, if any, in preparing for the pressures and the style of the NBA?
I don't know so much, Kevin, if it gave me an advantage with regards to the pressures of the league, but certainly with regards to the physicality of the league, it's something that I desperately needed. Just a late developer, a late bloomer. I think I was about 175 pounds when I went off to college. Not a preferential playing weight for the NBA. So I needed that year just in terms of the maturity of what I needed physically.
No one near Whiteside as he lets it go. Finds the bottom of the bucket from 13 feet out.
We're getting to the point where you're going to have to start respecting Whiteside's jump shot. Effective shooting off the pass and good timing there from the big man.
Yeah, 3 consecutive field goals have come right at the rim. The D had better start buckling down.
There's a screen. The dish now to Waiters. Johnson the screen. Back to Dragic. Wide open look. Bounces high off the rim and drops. Dragic has got 10 points in the game.
Got to respect the mid-range play of Goran Dragic right there. The left-handed point guard strokes it well.
And that's out of bounds. Miami will retain possession. And the Heat making a change here. Winslow's checked in. The Heat trail by 13. Dragic kicks to Winslow. Back to Dragic. And Aaron Gordon gets the whistle that time. That's his 6th foul. He'll watch the rest of the game from the bench. Johnson outside. Johnson draws the double. Shot clock at 6. Here's the teardrop. And again, Goran Dragic. He's got 12.
And you can see just how tough the defense was there, but in the end, it did not matter for Goran Dragic.
Fournier. Almost, but it rolls out. The Heat have gone 5 of 8 from the floor here in the second quarter. Over 60% shooting. And it's Waiters at the elbow. Dragic against Payton. Whiteside sets the pick for Dragic. Johnson in the corner. Puts up a 3. And it's Orlando with the rebound. The biggest lead of the game, 15 points. They can look forward to the American Airlines Center after this game. They'll match up against Dallas. And that'll be the first of a 2-game road trip for them.
And just tax a few more points onto their lead with the tomahawk.
That's bringing it down hard. Now, here's Whiteside. He's coming off a 19-point game against the Nets in Brooklyn.
A lot of those plays came off tremendous hustle. He was committed to ripping down as many rebounds as he possibly could in this one.
The offensive rebound, and at last they get one to fall.
Not sure if physically you could put Whiteside's game in a nutshell. A guy who hustles and tracks down hard rebounds and then turns them into easy points for his team.
Now here's Winslow, following the miss by Aaron Gordon. Good on that shot, and with that, the Magic lead is cut down now to just 9 in the bucket from Winslow. And it's out of bounds, last touch by Gordon. Let's take a look at last year's leading shot blockers. You don't want one of these guys in front of you when you're coming down the lane. The 4th spot held by Hassan Whiteside.
And shot blocking is the element of the game that I think he cares about the most. That's where he puts in that effort and energy.
Vucevic checked in for Biyombo. Well, Greg, Justice Winslow had a year that he'd like to forget. His second season in the NBA. Only played in the 18 games before sitting out the rest of the way after a torn labrum.
And we're just happy to see the young man back out on the floor so that he can continue to develop. Always a fantastic defender. And you forget, still a very young player who can round into a contributor, I believe, on offense.
Timeout called, the Heat. The Heat trail by 11. Dragic dishes to Whiteside. Here's Magruder. He's guarded by Fournier. Winslow against Vucevic. 6 to shoot. Poked away and stolen by Fournier. And here we go. Here's Gordon.
A moment here to see some numbers for Payton. Last year, getting it done. Averaged about 12 points a game, 6 assists and 4 rebounds. And he's putting in the effort, and you can see him getting better with time.
So many little things that you have to learn to grow as a player. He's just going through a bit of that process right now.
Ross is checked in for Orlando. So often nowadays in transition, Brent, we'll see a guy get to the rim, then kick it out to someone standing at the three-point line. What's your feeling on that?
Kevin, who's at the three-point line?
Well, let's say Brent Barry's out there.
I'm more than okay with that. Some of the guys, Kevin, in the new age are running to the three-point line, and as the ball gets to the rim, the modern-day fast break is not your classic 3-on-2, and we're going to take the wings coming in, and we're going to feed one guy for a layup. That first available wide-open three-point shot, whether 2 seconds into the possession or 12, is something coaches are willing to live with.
Problem is, though, sometimes that big wants to run and does run, but you don't reward him, and then maybe they don't run the next time down.
That's exactly right, Kevin. You have a big guy working that hard. Problem is, in today's game, some of those big guys are also running to that three-point line.
You're exactly right. The Magic making a switch here. As Anya's checked in, Josh Richardson's checked in for Miami. Magruder kicks to Whiteside. They set the screen, and the officials call a traveling violation.
This game is going to get even more out of hand unless they start valuing the basketball.
And some changes here for the Heat. Kelly Olynyk's checked in for Whiteside. And Adebayo's subbed in for Goran Dragic. It's deflected. Payton, that's good.
And without looking at the scoreboard, you think they were the team trailing and trying to fight their way back.
Magruder kicks to Richardson. Ross against Winslow to stop the run. And Kelly Olynyk is going to pick up the foul. That's his first foul. Magic leading by 17. Puts it up from 12. And it's Gordon missing.
Now, this is a quarter that he would love to forget as soon as possible. Not getting anything to go.
Out to the wing. Olynyk has the open look. And he overshot that one, missing.
Looked a little bit forced. No reason for it either. The defense was not even in the frame.
And it's Gordon missing. The Heat trail by 17. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Richardson against Payton. They get it back. Gets it to go. That one good from Adebayo.
And really, it's been a major aspect of their offense in the early stages here. Their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range.
Leaping ability is off the charts. Not the biggest power forward, but outstanding at rising up off the ground.
And so here is Miami following the bucket by Orlando. Richardson kicks to Winslow. Clock at 6. It's Richardson on the wing. Gordon with the defensive effort. On offense, here are the Magic. They're on a 10-2 run here. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Oh, the officials are all over that one.
He's made 3 of his 4 free throw attempts in the game. He's perfect from the line this time.
And they have yet to miss a shot from the line here this quarter.
And Aaron Gordon gets the whistle that time. And stolen by Simmons.
And how about the stingy defense there to deny that pass? And that's what you want in transition, a high percentage opportunity.
The story is true, and here the defense does a very poor job of matching up.
For Orlando, they have gone 6 of 8 from the free throw line tonight. And so it's Orlando cruising into the quarter break with a 22-point lead. From the field, they have been outstanding, amazing shooting. That's what has them headed to a blowout. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Kevin, thank you. Aaron, you all have played at a high level so far. What has worked for you?
We're just sticking to the game plan. Our coaches really drew up something good for us. They wrote it out, and we're sticking to it, and we're executing very well.
Yeah, that's obvious the way you all have played. Thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David, and we'll be right back after halftime to start the third quarter. See you in just a bit.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back to this preseason edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson, Shaq, Kenny the Jet. Out in front at the half is Orlando. They are completely in control of the game, leading by a massive amount. Kenny, what did you see from them?
Well, how about their ball movement? That was a true definition of team basketball. All 5 guys moving, all guys rotating, everyone touching the ball, a bunch of assists, tons of easy baskets. It gives everyone on the floor confidence when you're playing like that.
And over to Shaq. What'd you think about Miami?
Not pretty to watch how they get torched in the low post, Ernie. When they were playing defense in the post, you know me, Ernie. Barbecue chicken alert, barbecue chicken alert. This team is going to have to up the pressure, play more physical in the second half, start a fight, throw some bowls, let's go.
That's it for now as the second half's just about ready to go.
And we're getting back to the action. It's the NBA preseason here on 2K Sports. A fantastic game from Aaron Gordon in this one.
I'll tell you, the scoring he gave them in the first half really made the difference.
Well, the defense is paying attention to a lot of other guys. He's gotten some good looks, and he's done a great job of finishing those off.
Thanks again for tuning in as we get going once again with our coverage of the NBA preseason. On the court for the Heat, Dragic and Waiters, they're the backcourt. James Johnson is out there with Winslow, and it's Whiteside in at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
Well, I would say that's as high percentage as you're going to get from Hassan Whiteside. He really takes off on those dunks.
And there are a lot of things to like about Hassan Whiteside's game, but one is his focus on his ability to rebound.
Well, so many nights where you look at the stat sheet and Whiteside collecting 15, 18, 20 rebounds. That is a guy who's dominating the glass, and that can give you confidence as a defender that your big man is going to take care of any miss.
Dragic against Payton. Beyond the arc. No good from Dragic. Magic leading by 20. Here's Isaac. And it's Whiteside with the rebound. Whiteside's got his 7th rebound here tonight. Winslow kicks to Waiters. And the shot goes down.
Yeah, there's a good indicator of Winslow and his feel for the game. I like how much he makes a concentrated effort to get the ball right there to the open man.
Good. Gordon's got 23. And about a minute of action so far in the third quarter. The Heat trail by 20. Waiters outside. Back to Dragic. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. Watching the way Dragic can slice through a defense, it's easy to see why he is one of the better playmakers in the league.
Well, Kevin, over the past 2 seasons, almost averaging 6 assists a ball game. And you think about who it is that he's been surrounded by, there's not a ton of shooting out there. So if the roster picks up a couple of other dead-eye shooters, those assist numbers are going to go up for Dragic.
And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot 2. It goes on Justice Winslow. The Magic have made 7 out of 9 when they've stepped to the line.
And as a group, they shot 75% from the line last season. And you look at the post-up bangers who don't block shots at a high level. More and more, we're seeing teams relegate them to that 6-man role off the bench. It'll be interesting to see how that affects a guy like Vucevic, who fits that description.
The shot, no good. Good work defensively by Whiteside. The Heat trail by 18. And Nikola Vucevic is going to pick up the foul. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. Here's Waiters. And stolen by Payton. And here we go. Payton heading to the hoop. Drops in the breakaway layup. Payton's got 8.
Well, there you go. One team operating on all cylinders at both ends. Steals, fast break buckets, and the other team in scramble mode.
And that replay presented by Under Armour showing us the fantastic steal that led to that fast break finish. Another Unleash Chaos moment. Timeout called the Heat. Greg, why is it, do you think, that teams want those more floor-bound, post-up big men like Vucevic coming off the bench?
I think two things. First of all, their defensive shortcomings are less exposed playing against other reserves. Also, their ability to create offense on the block has more value with that second unit because that group tends to have their struggles in terms of scoring the basketball.
Well, you got to like what Aaron Gordon has done in this game.
So far, he is just destroying their will. It feels like he can get any shot he wants once he crosses half court.
Biombo is checked in for Orlando.
A brief check now of the stats for Johnson. He had a strong showing last season. He put up about 13 points a game last season, 5 rebounds and 3 assists. And he's really been pulling his weight. He's had a hand in some big plays here recently.
I think you look across the board right now, and he's just doing a much better job. The numbers bear that out.
Now, here's Whiteside. He has 6 and plenty of contact on the shot, so 2 free throws coming up. And Orlando called for the foul, and he's got his first free throw of the game.
And you know, you'll take what he can give you from the free throw line. Looking at his numbers, just really not one of his strengths, shooting in the low 60s last season.
Yeah, I think the defense made an impact on that play, making the shooter feel a bit uncomfortable on release.
Waiters passes to Dragic. They set the pick. Knocked loose. It's stolen by Vucevic. Here we go, one-on-one. Tries it from 9. That's good. And it's Payton with the assist. Payton's got his 3rd assist on the night.
Yeah, he's a heady player. He knows how to get himself going and giving his team a real advantage right now on the offensive end.
Now, here's Whiteside. 8 points for him. Payton against Dragic. The shot by Payton, no good.
Oh, you've got to be able to deliver when you get a bunny like that. That's just too easy of a shot to miss.
Tipped away and stolen by Payton. And Payton throws it down.
Yeah, good job with the anticipation, and then the quick hands results in points off the break.
Now, sometimes you calculate the risks, and he did it there, but couldn't have turned out any better.
I think it's been a long rebuild for the Magic, but they really feel they've got a plan in place.
Well, you've heard the front office talking that they're going to win at least one championship by the year 2030. And I got to say, that's an interesting quote, to say the least. I mean, I have heard of a 5-year plan, but a 13-year plan, I guess you'd call that building for the long term.
Right side a screen, and the call will be against Fournier. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. Wayne Ellington's checked in for Justice Winslow. Here is Ellington. He kicks it to Dragic. Hey, Brent, analytics more and more playing a part in the NBA, almost to the point where people now feel guilty taking mid-range jump shots because they know the higher percentage that exists. How far is too far in using these numbers?
Well, I think people mention it too much, Kevin, but they don't understand it enough. There's no doubt that analytics plays a huge part in what our game is today. Every team throughout the 30 in the league have several guys employed to look deep into these numbers. But the fact of the matter is, still the best shot in basketball is the dunk or the layup. Teams are still trying to get into the paint and get it done. And the three-point evolution is not going anywhere. So it's about understanding it. Right now we're at a good point about taking right now our three-point shots. I think we're going to see it get close to 40. Wow. That's about the tipping point.
40%. Johnson draws the double. Ellington kicks to Whiteside. And a kind roll that time off the rim as that one falls. Whiteside's got 10.
Nice to see Whiteside expanding his range a little bit. Imagine a guy that big being able to step out and knock down mid-range jumpers.
That's their 3rd straight make off an assist.
Waiters with the ball. Johnson the screen. Waiters dishes to Dragic. It's taken away by Payton. And the basket by Isaac.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement. And you know, last season, it seemed like it was a strong return to form for Goran Dragic, who was able to be more ball dominant when he was on the floor. And that style seems to work to his advantage, and he just seemed more comfortable in his role with this team.
Here's what Orlando's going with right now. Hezonja comes in for Evan Fournier, and Jonathan Simmons subbed in for Peyton.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Here's Dragic after the Magic pick up 2. 2 open that time, made it look too easy. Ellington's got his second basket of the game. And Greg, with Dragic in his statistical resurgence for several seasons, he had been sharing playmaking duties with guys like Wade and Bledsoe.
And as great as those players are, Dragic is best when he's the lead guard. Seems to be best paired with a shooter. A player's mentality can change when he is or isn't the primary ball handler, and that's been the case with Dragic. Often you find him out on the wing, but Olynyk seizing the opportunity to go inside and dig out that extra possession.
What elevation. He's a smaller but still determined big man, and he likes mixing it up with his impressive vert.
Adebayo passes to Ellington. Stolen. And now here comes Simmons leading the break. Here's Ross. Tries again. He can't get it to go. And it's Miami the other way. Pass to Adebayo. Olynyk sets a screen for Dragic. Pass to Ellington. Fires the 3. But they recover it. Adebayo. They shoot again. Tough possession there. They stayed with it, but they just couldn't make it. Here's Ross. And it's Orlando with another.
And each bucket at this point feels like a backbreaker.
Well, to win at this level consistently, you cannot be faint of heart, and he's going in for the kill.
Again, the miss by the Heat. Well, Orlando shooting impressively throughout at 62%. It's Adebayo with the rebound. Adebayo's got 3 rebounds now in this one.
Yeah, even though he's been off, the team's still winning, so the hope is that he's going to get going.
Lays it up and banks it in. Isaac's got 4 points in the quarter.
And Isaac is rapidly becoming a load for the defense. He utilizes that huge frame to get the shot he wants in the paint.
Here's Adebayo. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2. And last season, the Heat showed that they can score and attack you from many different sources.
Well, the Heat have a team where one player can step up for them on any given night, and they improve their outside shooting so much. So many guys had a tremendous year from behind the three-point line. They opened up the floor a bit. So with Dragic running the point and using his speed, they had some other gunners out there who got into a great rhythm, and certainly that winning streak helped their confidence.
And here's Richardson outside. That's in there. Johnson with the assist. Richardson's got 10.
Richardson shooting it now from deep. Good touch on the long ranger.
And that one drops.
And we're seeing some great ball movement out of this group, guys.
54 seconds left to play in the third. Now the pass to Adebayo. Johnson wide open. He fires. Off target from three-point range. Gordon kicks to Simmons. Good ball movement here by the Magic. Shoots it. And it's Orlando with another.
And you can see it. They're in a nice rhythm in terms of shooting. It's been that way the entire second half.
And then there's the other team. Can't say that about them. Big gap in the recent field goal percentage between these two squads.
Here's White following the score by Aaron Gordon. Oh, and here we go with Gordon. No, but...
Oh, wow.
Oh, hello.
That's a beautiful jam.
Wow. We are going to remember that one for a while.
I know I will, Greg. That was special. That was really special. And it's Hezonja with the foul. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line. The Heat have been shooting right around 75% at the line, 9 of 12 so far.
And Josh Richardson, continuing to develop his overall game, has such good height at the two-guard spot.
And Ross with the slam.
And we always talk about making your teammate better. That assist was right on target.
Now Johnson. It'll count.
Got it off in time, but it's no good. The 3 quarters of play all in the books, and this one all but over already. Orlando out in front as they end the 3rd quarter with a huge surge, an 18-7 run. 2K Sports, back in a moment from the Amway Center. Head coach Eric Spoelstra mic'd up along the sideline. Let's check it out.
They're getting us out of stuff. Make hard cuts. Everything with force. Okay? Come on.
And there's Eric Spoelstra asking his guys to play with a little sharper mind, with a little more intense, with more vigor.
And simply put, it's about reaching another level of intensity. When they're attacking, that's when they're at their best.
NBA preseason action underway once again. Glad to have you with us. DJ Augustine out there with a Flalo. Then there's Gordon. Then there's Maurice Spates. And it's Simmons in at the small forward position. That's who's out there for Orlando. And Jonathan Simmons gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. Hey, Brent, what are some of the biggest differences between NBA play and international play?
I think in international play, and we're moving more and more towards it, Kevin, is possessions oftentimes involve 5 to 6 passes and exploring quick cuts to the basket, big guys away from the hoop, and opening up space around the lane for cutters to get in there and slicing through with passes to get available scoring opportunities. A lot of these coaches have borrowed some sets, especially during international competition with the Olympics, that they've brought back to training camps for the NBA season.
Passing, cutting, shooting. I mean, those are the most attractive things to the naked eye to see and watch.
You know what, Kevin? That sounds a lot like basketball to me.
Yeah, me too.
And that tells the tale here today, guys. Throughout this game, they've been able to get the ball in tight and finish.
As we've seen, many teams play a little bit of a soft zone defensively. What's the best way, you think, Brent, to counteract that when you're trying to run your half-court offense?
Well, the best way to counteract anybody who's softening up on the backside of the zone is to overload that side of the court, Kevin. So now all of a sudden, if you make a shift with more players on one side of the floor, there's no way for 3 to cover 2 on the backside. That's where teams can gain incredible advantage. Tough for Josh Richardson last year to get some consistent play due to injuries that just sort of took him off track, but it definitely slowed up what was looking like a very encouraging sophomore season and still has a bright future ahead of him.
Max checked in for Simmons, and the basket by Gordon.
And the jump shot has been a dimension of this game where they've had a clear advantage.
Johnson kicks to Mickey. Feeds it to Richardson. Over Mack. Moves back up. And that's 2 points on the layup.
And this is what happens when you fail to block out.
Defensive rebounding just as important as causing the miss in the first place.
Here's Gordon. And there's the bucket. Staying with it on the offensive glass, getting it done. Gordon's got 4 this quarter.
And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle.
Johnson kicks to Mickey. It's stolen by Mack. And now running it up the court, Mack pushing it up. And it's Gordon, that time on the assist from Mack. And that's now 35 points for Aaron Gordon.
Ripping and running. They have a big advantage now in those transition opportunities.
And despite the injury-riddled season last year, you can see what Richardson provides to a team when he is healthy and Brent when he's ready to go. Solid wing player.
Well, they love Richardson coming out of college as a guy who could play flat-out defense on the wing. And then all of a sudden, he stepped up in some big moments 2 years ago and started draining three-point shots. So they feel like they've got a perimeter player in Richardson that's going to make that kind of progression and have that kind of consistency for them in the next few years.
And Miami has possession. The Magic getting the bucket. There's a good screen to the left side wing. And Gordon over to help. Pass to Mickey. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Richardson. And the Heat get another bucket right there.
Yeah, can't be frustrated at him tonight. He's doing his job. Like to see his guys step up a little more.
And the basket by Gordon.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
The Heat have gotten 4 of their 6 shots to fall so far here in the fourth. A pretty nice efficiency there. And out of bounds is the Magic will gain possession.
And this has been a comedy of errors. I mean, you can just add another one to the list.
James Johnson's checked in for the Heat. Ellington comes in for Richardson.
He's been an absolute marksman the entire second half. Hard to imagine what anyone can do right now to slow him down.
Now here's Johnson. And Gordon over to help. Here's Magruder. He's covered by Mack. Johnson can't hit. Well, Orlando shooting the ball with incredible accuracy. 68% so far. Miami's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Johnson kicks to Johnson. Passes to Magruder. Puts up a 3. Augustine grabs the board. Now here's Mack. He's covered closely, and the shot goes down. The Heat shooting it well here in the fourth quarter, 50%. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off. And all those second chance points have given them a boost here in the second half, and that's a great way to cut into the lead.
And the basket by Gordon.
It just seems like the more he touches it, the more the lead grows.
Heat have gone 5 of 10, 50% from the field. Pass to Magruder. In the corner, it's Ellington. Doubled by Aflalo. Johnson outside. He feeds it to Johnson. And it's off from three-point range. And it's Gordon penetrating. Good, and the nice assist from Mack. Gordon's got 43 points.
He keeps finding great shots out there, and the opportunities are turning up roses.
Johnson kicks to Johnson. On the wing, Ellington. He's guarded by Aflalo. Johnson, the pass to Magruder. Johnson, the screen. Got a hand on it, and they get it back. And now, here comes Gordon leading the break. Here's Augustine, and it's Orlando with another.
Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
The Heat shooting 40% from the field, and it's DJ Augustine with the foul. That's his first foul. The Magic making a switch here. Simmons is checked in. The Heat also with a sub. Okaro White is checked in for Tyler Johnson. Magruder kicks to Ellington. Here's Adebayo. There's the killer two-handed slam.
Okay, 2 hands for safety. That's what they say, right?
That's right. He was ultra safe with that dunk, no question.
And that's really a function of the offense not working as it should.
Yeah, maybe lazy play calling or just going through the motions on that possession. This often leads to a bad shot.
Now here's White. The offensive rebound. And that one goes long.
Those are the types of looks that you got to finish deep in the paint and limited defensive effort.
Oh boy, looks like he was injured there.
And that's the one thing you just really can't control or even guard against, and that's injury.
Yep, you can do all the stretching and all the strength training, eat right, train right, but at the end of the day, it's pretty random.
Biyombo is checked in for Gordon.
Kicks it to Biombo. Johnson with the block. And so it looks like the Magic will retain possession here. Here's Afflalo. And it's White with the rebound. Miami's gone into a funk from downtown in the fourth. Only one of their 5 3-pointers has found the bottom of the bucket. Magic shooting with confidence. Wow, 66% from the floor. Here's Afflalo. A quick shot there, and it's off target.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
Back to Johnson. Heat moving the ball around. White inside, guarded by Augustine. Johnson, wide open, he fires. Connects from 3-point range.
And defensively, you have got to extend to their shooters. They have been on fire this half.
Yeah, and then the fear sets in that you're going to create driving lanes that could lead to easy buckets. This is not an easy fix.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for the Magic.
You don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
They definitely never changed the approach. They just kept after it and showed they were clearly the better team in just about every single category.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for Aaron Gordon.
He was extremely efficient offensively, got good looks, and really knocked down big shots all game long.
That's good from Simmons.
And for the Magic, it's really been a musical chairs with their coaches. A lot of churning on the roster, but the pieces still have yet to gel. And honestly, it's been a mess.
Now here's Johnson. Olynyk, a screen on Simmons. Outside, White. Poked away and stolen by Simmons. Picked him clean. Johnson outside. Miami no good on that time either.
Might want to stop shooting from out there right now because it's just not working. He needs to look to get his teammates involved at this point in the game.
Now a timeout called by Orlando. Now the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Aaron Gordon.
And what an amazing ball game we've seen from him. It's been a one-man show worth the price of admission all by itself. There wasn't anything he couldn't do on that court tonight.
He doesn't take over games like this very much, but it's always possible. And when he does, here at home, these fans love it. There's 39 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Here's Biombo. Rebound by the Heat. Here's Magruder. Drills it from outside.
Boy, this final period, they are putting up a ton of shots from deep.
Yeah, and making them. Once you get into this kind of rhythm with the 3-ball, it is so difficult for the defense to do anything about it.
Here's Magruder. The Magic getting the bucket. Count the basket. There's 18 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. And it's Afflalo penetrating. Yep, that one goes in there.
Running up the score, showing no mercy.
Well, you want to close the door on any type of comeback effort. This has been a vault. Ka-ching.
You're right. Here's Magruder. And so it's Orlando taking this one by a big margin. This game may not have been the most exciting we've ever seen, but you have to appreciate just what a clinical performance they put on.
I know their fans appreciated it, and we saw at times just stretches of excellent defense, potency from an offensive standpoint as well. They were pretty much dominant.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thank you, Kevin. With Aaron Gordon. Now, Aaron, we know this is a young team, but are these preseason games important to establish rhythm and chemistry going into the regular season?
We're trying to get right. We're really trying to get right for the regular season. So preseason is definitely a test, and that's really what we're trying to do. We're trying to work out the kinks.
One step at a time, Aaron. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. We're glad you joined us, folks, for this preseason game. For Greg Anthony, Brett Barry, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. So long.